clerk to pay any bills that come in between tomorrow and the last business day of the month of June for this fiscal year. So we'll start first with our invoices for $131,620.30. So we'll start with Jim. If you have any questions, that includes our P cards.
We did the P cards, and I noticed all the $27,000 general stuff, but we got a lot of basic repairs and maintenance. We've been doing the buildings and everything else. I don't see anything out of that usually. I really don't have questions.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's unusual, but no.
The only question I have, and I'll come to Steve, is just a clarification. Police chief, in the P card, there were 2 cars that got tires, and in the invoices, there was another car, just making sure it was 3 cars, not it got double something.
It was 3 cars.
Okay, that's just all I need for clarification. That was good. Okay.
I wonder about
No, I really need, I just want to make sure we didn't get double billed somewhere. We actually got 3 cars and tires. Okay, we've, and other councils also had all these invoices and P card receipts to look at. So you've got your total $130,620.30 for this period. Do we have a motion? Again, we'll come back to the remainder of the fiscal year, but this is for $131,000. Do we have a motion to send this to full council for approval?
I make a motion that we send $31,620.38 to full council.
second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Again, I'll entertain a motion that we authorize the clerk to issue payment for invoices received on or before June 28th. That way we can finish out our year and just makes everything cleaner. It doesn't affect next year's budget. We'll entertain a motion for that. And let me explain this to the audience. While we're asking for that approval, the clerk will give us a list of everything when we come back for our next meeting. So we'll have a chance to, it'll already be approved, but it'll all be there we can look at, so there's no questions about it, so everybody's clear on that.
I make a motion to allow the clerk to continue to pay the bills through June 30th in order to finish up this week.
I second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you. And again, citizens, there will be a review of that, and it'll all be authorized to be paid and finish out our year. Ordinances, resolutions. The first one is second reading. And this is, you see your numbers there, 779, amending section 75901. And that is for municipal fees and the changes in that. Just a second, I'll think through and we'll just highlight these quickly. We've had our first reading, and this will change 2 things on your municipal fee, from quarterly billing to monthly billing. It'll set the amount of $13 for a single family, and that's an increase of $5 a month is what it'll come out to. And $5 minus the postage difference will all go towards the fireman's pension plan. And we went over that several times, but we have it again for second reading. And this is not the trash fee, that is next. This is the municipal fee for second reading.
For the record, there's been a class 2 legal ad that was published in the newspaper with 2 separate issues, notifying the public of the first reading and the upcoming second reading of the ordinance. Plus, the ordinance does not go into effect until 45 days after the second reading, when it involves a fee change in the event that the residents want to protest by petition, and I think it's 30% of the resident of the property owners have to sign the petition to call it to go for a referendum. So it's a 30% threshold.
And the practical, as the mayor mentioned, means that this will go into effect 1st of October, because your July quarterly billing will go out before the 45 days. So 45 days will start before then, but the next billing cycle will be October. Any other questions or clarifications, or motion to send this to full council for second reading?
I make a motion to send this to full council for a second.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And B is the second half of this. This is your changing of your garbage fee, because they're on the same bill from quarterly to monthly, and a slight adjustment of how the total goes from 25 a month to 30. But it's a slight adjustment in the rate for the garbage. You see in your notes, it's $17 per month for a family. Businesses, if they have once a week pickup, is 20 a week, 20 a month. Twice a week is 30 a month. 3 times a week is 40 a month, 4 times a week is 50 a month, 5 times a week is 60. Kanawha County, we charge 80 for their school pickups. So we've had first reading and lots of discussion and questions that were answered a month ago. So it's now our second reading of ordinance 780, amending section 95105.
I make a motion we send ordinance 780 before council for approval.
Second.
Motion is second, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. For those in the audience, if you've been here, you know this has been worked and worked and worked and worked. So if you just showed up tonight, we're not ramming it down anybody's throat. This has went on for months working to plan this. And a month ago, we had a very lengthy meeting with any questions anybody in the audience asked. Every question was answered. So this is just the formality of doing the second reading.
I just have one question. Did we identify the businesses that were being picked up once a week and send it to Connie, so that way she can bill correctly? Thank you.
That'll be to Scott.
Scott Sugar, Baylor Sugar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now this next one, C, is first reading of an ordinance 781, raising the compensation of all full-time city employees, city contracted employees, which is the fire, police, and department heads. And I'll quickly give a summary of this. Some of you have had it in your packet. And this also, it's the first reading, but it's after a lot of negotiation between fire and police, and then negotiation, and then ordinance committee looking at as well. Here's the quick synopsis of it. This would be the first reading, and it would provide for all full-time non-union employees, meaning city hall workers, garage workers, all those, they would be receiving beginning July 1, 30 cent an hour pay raise. Then for a few of our department heads that are on a flat contract, except an hourly rate, building inspector, public works director, parks and works director, that's a vacant position if it was filled. Those that are compensated on an annual rate, they would be getting a $700 a year raise. It's just a flat $700 a year raise. Then the third part of this is there's actually 4 parts. The third part is the police chief. The fire chief actually comes under civil service. He's on a separate contract. But the city police chief also would be the salary. This one's going to be worded that he will be compensated on an annual rate beginning July 1st, 2019 at $1,000 above the fire chief basic salary. Point of clarification, fire and police, they're set up a little different. Fire comes under civil servant. So the fire chief has a base salary set by the city. And then he has incentives beyond that that's in their unique contract based on education, EMT training, helping out deputy chief or assistant.
Safety manager, EMT.
Okay. So it's kind of fluctuating, and that's going to vary on who is the next chief also in fire, because the next person may have different credentials. Yeah. So this would say the base salary that's negotiated in contract. The police chief then would get $1,000 above the base salary. It may mean some years that he would make the same as the fire chief, some years maybe more, some years maybe less, but we'll put them in parity because we reviewed and realized that there was a large difference between the two positions in compensation. And so that's why the ordinance committee, at the recommendation of negotiations, come up with that. And so that's for the police chief to try to keep the fire chief and police chief in some close proximity of compensation, since they both deal with first response and safety of our town. Fourth part is the contract for the city firefighters. And I'll just quickly highlight those you've had in your packet. Lieutenant would increase 15 cents an hour, captain 20 cents an hour, assistant chief 30 cents an hour, and then the deputy and the chief, they're on a flat yearly rate. They would both increase $2,000 a year in their salary. And the fifth part is the police contract. And again, their chief is not civil servant, he's will and pleasure, so that's been dealt with separate. But the contract for the police, it would increase patrolman by 39 cents an hour, corporal 48 cents an hour, sergeant 60 cents an hour, lieutenant 83 cents an hour, and captain $1 an hour. This is kind of getting those two contracts somewhat in parity also between the two departments. All this has been figured into the budget. It was already proposed. And one last clarification as well, this does not have any pay raises for the police judge, the city solicitor, or any elected officials, because we're not allowed, elected officials cannot have pay raise during a term. It cannot happen. So everybody clear on what's included in this ordinance? Any questions? Anything you need to share?
It's going to fall within the limits of the budget, current budget plan, was conducted earlier in the spring, so it's not going to impact the finances.
We built some leeway into the budget when we worked through this spring, so we wouldn't have to go back and immediately do a correction. So,
That's one thing, yourself and then Jim, and also the police and fire departments. We started this in March and we've had, it's not like you sit down for one meeting and say, okay, we're done. And it's not that easy. So I really appreciate everyone's cooperation. And Steve, I'm sorry. Everyone's cooperation in meeting with us, coming back and meeting with us. It's not, it's not a fun thing. It's not the worst thing I've ever had to do in my life, but it's hard, trying to make everybody happy. And then also balance a budget.
at times gets tense as well. Here are no questions. Entertain a motion to send this first reading to full council of ordinance 781.
I make a motion to send full council the first reading of ordinance 781, raising the compensation of all full-time city employees, contracted employees, and department heads.
I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
First same sign, as Connie mentioned, thanks to those on the committees, and also thanks to the representatives from the fire and police, and their part as well. We'll jump down letter D, resolution approving budget adjustment number 3. You've had that in your packet, and I'll take a moment for the clerk. It's pretty self-explanatory, but I'll take a moment for the clerk to highlight anything. This is getting things, when we come near the end of the year, we see some departments, we have to have a balanced budget, totally. But with some departments that are under and some are over, we have to adjust them so that it still comes out on the whole as balanced. But the state of West Virginia requires a balanced budget.
That we're not negative
Yep.
in any department. So you want me to go through every line? Now, we have went through the budget and we have took some increases and decreases, as you all can see on your request that goes to the state. And then our CPA will take these and balance, get the negatives out of there instead of going line by line. So we'll have enough money in there to get the negatives out of, like auto maintenance or whatever. So
And we'll have one final after the end of the fiscal year, we'll have one final adjustment. This is lining a few things up as you come in. I'll highlight quickly. Again, we're short on time. The mayor's office is under budget. City council was over, and that's $500, which is cutting close. And I'll quickly explain. We had several extra meetings this year about the fireman's pension.
we may not be ever, but some of
It's
those
close,
areas
yeah.
close, so we want to be on the safe side.
And if you're curious to that, it is worth it to the city in the long run, even if we are over that $500, because if you can salvage the pension from bankruptcy and save the city thousands of dollars in court costs, it's worth $400 or $500 over budget. Several of the others where we had some employee changes, city clerk was just a little bit, police judge, that was a little more
Election.
significance.
Election,
because
we had to put a little bit more money into election.
the only one of much significance was street construction, where we're doing some paving, and also fire department, and some of that was, part of it was payroll, part of it was the equipments. If you were here in the budget meeting, we went back and forth on that. Last year, the budget was down 24,000, and we've raised it for next year. This is some of those corrections, because we still have to fix some equipment, so that's the highlights. Anything else, Connie? Any questions for the clerk? Okay. We have a motion to approve budget adjustment number 3.
I make a motion we approve budget adjustment number 3.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. And then E, this is another part of that finalizing the fireman's pension adjustment. We're closing their old fund to new hires, and new hires will go into the Consolidated Public Retirement Board. So Blair Taylor has worked with the clerk's office, and we have to approve a resolution to become a participating employer of the West Virginia Municipal Police Officers and Firefighters Retirement System for municipal paid professional firefighters. The practical side of this, meaning after July 1, any new hires to the fire department will go into the statewide fireman's pension plan instead of this local city fireman's pension plan. But all current employees and all current retirees that are living are under the old plan. That's the simple explanation. We do have to have a resolution. Questions? Do you have a motion?
I make a motion to go with the resolution of participating lawyer, West Virginia Municipal Police Officer, firefighters, and county system.
A second.
Discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. And this is a multi-piece program. It's closing the old pension to new hires, setting up this for the new hires for this other plan, restructuring the old pension, municipal fees to pay it. It's a lot there. We've been working for about 1.5 to 2 years to try to get that resolved. And again, special thanks to the clerk and mayor and Blair Taylor, and to the firemen and many of us here who spent hours and hours working on this. New business, 2020 sanitary board budget. You've had that to look at, and their accountants here. If you have any questions, you see their budget is $2.77 million for the year. Had a chance to look over that, and it's broken down, the expenditures. It's all one department, so it's broken down within what their duties are. Collection, your mind can understand what collection is, won't go into detail on that. Pumping, treatment and disposal, customer accounts, administration, and you see the bond payment is just shy of $1 million a year that they make. The positive note on it, the building next door, that's paid, everything's done on that. You see all the snapshot of all their finances, and a quick thank you to the sanitary board, because in the past, sometimes we as council had questions and know what, so I think we're all appreciative to have it in the system for going now. But any questions you have about the sanitary board budget, they already passed it, it's their budget, it's just for us to review it. But if you have any questions, you can address them to the mayor or the accountant for the sanitary board tonight. Any questions? Any other council members have a question about the sanitary board budget? And again, it's just a presentation. They have the authority to approve it. It's just for our information. And it's good because we're the ones that actually set the rates though, so at least you can answer your constituents to know what the revenue is, what their expenditures are, those kind of things. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Item B under new business, approval for the mayor to execute an agreement with Preston County Senior Citizens, Inc. For continued employment of 5 Title V workers. Cost is $7,045.80. Quick explanation of this. We pay Preston County Senior Citizens, Inc. $7,000, and roughly $1,500 of that's reimbursed to the city by the sanitary board, because they get one of these workers. We get 4, sanitary gets 1, and it's
20 hours a week. Right now it's 40, but we can turn back to 20.
It'll go back to.
okay. So roughly 20 hours a week, and they can get a few more if they need. That they work for us, and that's all the city has to pay for. It's a grant program through it's a federal grant program, and we buy into it, and so it's actually quite a deal. I mean, to get a 20-hour week worker all year, 5 of them for less than $8,000 would be insane to pass this up. So we have to review that every year, and many of these are good workers. And, some of you probably don't even realize they're Title V workers, because you see them around all the time, and they're just one of our crew here helping. Any questions? Motion then to approve allowing the mayor to enter this agreement with Preston County Senior Citizens.
I make a motion to have the mayor execute an agreement with Preston County Senior Citizens for the Title V workers.
I second.
Motion is second. Any questions? All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. We're trying to move quickly tonight. West Virginia Municipal Home Rule Board, we are a home rule city. Now it is permanent, but with that, we'll have an annual cost of $2,000 to pay the state of West Virginia as they regulate the system. Let me give you a quick answer to that as well. We pay $2,000 in turn. We're allowed to do many things within our city, such as building demolition, etc. That's restricted to non-home rule cities. And the biggest benefactor to us is we have 1% sales tax. So we're able to build in about $750,000 of our budget from home rule 1% sales tax in exchange to pay $2,000 to the state. Again, it's a no-brainer, but it does have to be presented and voted on by finance and city council. So, any questions on that? Everybody clear? Because it's the first year for the fee. The state just added the fee, but it's still a pretty good deal. Hearing none, entertain a motion to send this to full council.
I make a motion to send the full council, pay the amount of $2,000 to the home rule for the requirement of Senate bill.
Motion, you have a second?
A second.
Any other questions or comments? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Drop down to D, flood insurance for our city, $3,062. That's an increase of $50 over last year, which is, again, with insurance is very minimal. So we're thankful for that. And it does reflect on the rest of the city and what it costs you to get insurance in your own facility. So you got $3,000 and you've got the paperwork, Hartford Insurance Company, $3,062. $50 is the difference, correct? Last year. Okay. Any questions on this to renew our flood insurance for another year?
Make a motion to approve the insurance rate to pay $3,062.
Second.
With the motion and a second to approve renewal with Hartford Insurance Company. Any questions? Comments? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Here we go to an abatement, 136 8th Street. We had 3 bids. Astar was the lowest at $3,860. The competing bid was $4,800 and change, and $5,500. So Astar was about 1,000 under the next to lowest bid. You know on that?
At the REAP grant, we had some issues with some other deeds and properties. Finally got this one. Working with the state, did a in-day waiver. So we get torn down. I don't know, I had a message from back on the bill. And then they'll get nice guys 3 days. It's a 1-story, 44-foot long, 26-foot wide house. It'll pretty much be done.
Any questions for building inspector on that? Again, it's an abatement, so we can tear another house down. It's part of the REAP grant, as you mentioned. Entertain a motion to go forward with it.
I make a motion to approve contract with Star Statement for $3,860 for the house down 136 8th Street.
Second.
We have a motion.
That's not to tear the house down.
That's.
I mean, just to pay for the start before we tear it down. Right.
It's asbestos abatement.
Right.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, you see the next item F, approval for new roof on the toll bridge, the little building there by the toll bridge. We had 2 bids. Ed's Home come in at $2,350. The competing bid was an even $4,000. So Ed's Home was considerably less, and we've had a good track record with this company. But any questions for building inspector on that one? Yes.
What do we use that building for? It's for full storage, for beautification, things like that. Beach controls the building for the most part. We're getting some leaks. So there's stuff in there.
Yeah, lots of stuff.
Did you have a question, or were you just saying it was for beautification? Did you have a question, or were you just affirming it's beautification? Okay. That's what I thought.
We appreciate the new roof.
Any questions or a motion to approve or to award, excuse me, contract to Ed's Home commercial improvement?
Make a motion and we set Ed's Home commercial improvement for $2,350 for the total bridge building beautification.
Motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. West Virginia paving. Again, we approved this project, and we have a note that it's $1,600 over bid. And you have an explanation, 2 lanes instead of 1 at one section of the street. And so they're on the charges for the materials, not the actual labor. And the total is $77,971.73. And just to note on that, $66,000 comes out of the street fund, $11,971 is out of coal severance. We're using now some of our coal severance money. And again, that is the one-time money, because we're never guaranteed a penny from year to year coal severance, but we're using it for that. So we knew the project, you've had an explanation of the price adjustment. It wasn't what we expected, but we got more paving for less money as far as the square footage. So any questions for the building inspector or the mayor or anything else on this? Yeah, it cost them some money. Okay, hearing none, motion to approve this.
I make a motion to approve paying West Virginia paving $77,971.73 for the spring paving projects.
Motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item H is our bathroom. And when we get to full council, the mayor may want to elaborate on that more to the whole audience. But we're just quickly moving down. This is the block bathroom at Wine Cellar. And this was the contract amount, $47,400, and that money actually came from a grant from Kanawha County Commission. It was kind of, we maintained Shawnee for a while in transition. They gave us a grant of $50,000 back in return. So this is being paid out of that for bathrooms at Wine Cellar Parks. Any questions?
If everybody hasn't seen it or used it, it's a great restroom. We've got to use the last 2 weekends out there. We've had 2 big events. It's a beautiful, nice restroom. It's great. So I make a motion that we approve for G Block the amount of $47,400 for the completion of the restrooms.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. And again, just a reminder, this comes from a grant, $50,000 from Kanawha County Commission. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Jim just talked about the events out there. You see a note, Laura Anderson, the fishing pier has some structural issues. You see Scott from Public Works has got us a bid for materials from 84 Lumber. The bid is for $1,950, just a few dollars under that. And the mayor's recommended, and rightly so, we round up because there's always something that you can't see until you open it up. So the recommendation is we round up to say we repair that at a cost not to exceed $2,200, which gives us $250 wiggle room on any unforeseen wood that's rotten when it's opened up. Any questions for Scott from Public Works?
I make a motion that we approve the 1,900, or not to exceed the 1,947.82 for building materials for the Wine Cellar Lake fishing pier. Pardon? Yeah, I said not to exceed. Yeah.
Not to exceed 2,200.
2,200. Okay.
For the record, it's 2,000, not to exceed 2,200.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Again, thank you, Scott. And again, apologize to you all. We're not trying to ram it through, but we're on a short time on kind of an important matter we had to take up in executive session. Item J, approval to purchase shotguns for the police department at a cost not to exceed $4,000. Again, it's about $3,762.50, but if there's any unforeseen expenses, the police had requested this earlier. We just recently got your handguns replaced, correct?
Still working.
We approved it. Okay. This will be the shotguns, and the next item is infrared, but that's a separate item. So now we're looking at the shotguns. If you're curious, those have not been replaced in roughly 30 years, correct? 30 years.
Close to it.
Okay. They're old Mossbergs.
Now, do they what happens?
They're traded in. That's the contract. They're traded in towards the new ones. Okay, any questions on this purchase of shotguns for the police department? We've got it in front of us, but my memory applicant, how many shotguns is that? 4 shotguns. Okay.
Eight shotguns.
It's in your bid, I'm sorry. It's 8 shotguns. Yeah, these also have the, have the tack lights on, which is a huge improvement. Any questions? We have a motion to move forward with the purchase of shotguns not to exceed $4,000.
I make a motion to move forward to purchase 8 shotguns not to exceed $4,000.
A second.
Motion to second. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. And then you see a request, and they have the funds for this, a request for 2 infrared cameras. And it's just shy of 1,000, so we have there not to exceed 1,000. And the chief has shown these before. Yeah, and you can see how they work, and it can be a help to the officers. They can use that to kind of scan an area before they enter after dark to see what's there. Or if somebody says they're not here, They see that the heat is still there, they know they're either there or just left, so there's someone here, but that's for 2 infrared cameras. Any questions for the chief or lieutenant?
I make a motion that we buy 2 cameras not to exceed $1,000 for the police department for infrared cameras.
Second.
Motion second, any other questions or discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. It is, on a side note, it is fascinating how technology's brought the cost down. What would that been 5 years ago? So 10% now.
Thank you.
Okay, our item I, approval of emergency repair. This is the senior center refrigeration unit. You've got a bid there, it's statewide service, $1,706.47. And just a clarification, if you're asking why there's not competitive bidding, one, there's not many companies do this, and when the refrigerator's broken, you don't take forever getting multiple bids. We have the one bid for $1,700, $1,706.47. Any questions for the mayor or above under his department for senior center? You're going to entertain a motion to do this repair for $1,706.47.
I'll make a motion to do the emergency repair refrigeration in the senior center for $1,706.47.
I second.
Any other discussion? All in favor? I'm sorry, good.
Just for the record, the repair has already been made. We have to make the emergency. I think basically practication.
That's what we'll explain, because when everything's going, you just do it. The refrigerator does the cost. Any other questions? Thank you, Mayor. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, the last item of approval is approval to purchase 40 American flag banners for 10th Street and Dunbar Avenue, not to exceed $3,000. That's for the summer and the holidays, so I'll let the mayor, if he needs to share anything about that. We've got it in our notes, but anything you want to share with that?
Hopefully we can get them in. We're pushing it. This money is left over for the street budget, the streetscape projects. That's for the budget.
Any questions?
Make a motion that we purchase 40 American flag banners for the new street lights, not to exceed cost of $3,000.
Second.
Motion and a second, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you. And then we'll quickly hit the clerk's report. 3 quick things. You have your short budget. We should be at 92%. Again, that's 11 out of 12 months, reflecting to the end of May. We've already made adjustments to the budget reflecting this, so it won't take time unless someone has a question, but you've had it. And again, the adjustments we just made, put it back in line as we get ready for the final month. Any questions you do have for the clerk, Bill, on the short budget? Okay, you got that, then you've also got a statement of accounts. And just a quick reflection on that. This month, we're mostly just interest deposits. So each account has an improvement, but it's just primarily the interest, because these are accounts that go in sometimes quarterly, depending on when we receive funds for the fireman's pension and helping with all the other things. There's a general fund for employee benefits.
There's one that pays our municipal fees. Charges.
And so this was one of those months that were not deposits, but we did gain interest, so there was gain in all of your statement of accounts. Also, you have a cash balance, and if you scan over it, the final page of that shows after 11 months, our budget is 7.645 for this year that's ending. And at present, at the end of May, we're at 5.99, so we're 1.6 million under budget. We still have the month of June, which, as you can see, we're doing a lot of things at the end of the year, but we're still on track. Instead of being at 92% coming in June, we were at 78%, being we're 14% tightened down under budget, and we're on track to finish out the year with the surplus. We have to have around 280,000 surplus to roll in next year to have a balanced budget. But anything beyond that will be a bonus as far as just to help us get a good start for next year. We had to have right around 3, and we're on track to have more than that. So any questions on your cash balances for the clerk. Any other council members have a question for the clerk on any item? Do you have anything else for us?
I did give you all paper C.
Yes.
When I was with Atkins, the new, what we collected so far to past Friday. And then whatever you collect this week, I'll add to the farmer's fund, but that's right now, that point, this is what stands at on Friday. And then data match was last week, last council meeting, gave you data. We've had 3 more come in, and as you can see, that's what we brought in last week. So, and then I'll put all those, write all those checks back.
So your statement of accounts will show interest plus deposits when it comes in next.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all.
Mayor?
I think in your packet, I gave you your purchase order loans, so you keep track of what things that purchased. So, it kind of corresponds with the P card and the other invoices. So that keep track of what we're doing. In addition, Anthony's been working on the vacant building list. I think I gave you all a copy. Right now, 109 vacant residential units. And that means if it's rental and it's vacant, it's vacant. If it's up for sale, it's vacant, it's vacant. If it's vacant, it's vacant. If it's boarded up, it's vacant. And we start adding commercial property to that list. So, trying to get the database cleaned up, sort of.
I didn't do that with that too.
It's mayor's office.
Well, Greg and I made this, and all we done is just, kind of keep the database together and start sending letters out very shortly. And everybody knows about it. They can start coming into compliance with they construction.
And if there's any others out there, you want them to report them to the office,
Absolutely.
so we can add them to the list.
Yes. If we can check the list pretty fast now.
In case the audience is not following us on it, we're making a list of vacant properties, trying to keep track of, because a vacant property, one is a hazard to our community. And also the person who has a vacant over, what's the time limit, they have to pay a fee.
At the start of the second year,
Because the goal was to incentivize them to either sell it, rent it, fill it, or something.
big square non-vacant, occupied, the property is for 90% with all utilities.
If the property goes vacant, it's not registered or the city can get money for
So we have the ordinances, the city just need, residents just need to help us to locate them and identify.
Thank you, clerk. Thank you, mayor. Thank you, finance committee. We're right up against time. And again, thank you for bearing with us. We had to go very quick tonight. We have a motion to adjourn, so we can start council at 7.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I second.
Thank you.